we're going to utilize both the shape builder tool and the different parts of a shape and a path, as well as text together to create the Adidas logo. You've seen the Adidas logo before, most likely. It's the one that's in a triangle with the 3 lines. And to create this, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and create a new object inside Illustrator, so a new file. So I'm opening up Illustrator, I'm hitting Create New, and when I get this dialog box, I'm going to stick with my recent 800 by 800, but I'm going to make sure that I'm back down to 1 white artboard instead of 3 because we don't need 3. And everything else can just kind of stay the same. And our goal is to go ahead and recreate this logo. And we're going to do our best to try and recreate it. And we're going to use guides to do it because these are very proportional and they are attempting to almost make a triangle. So we're going to utilize a triangle to create this. And then we're going to add in the text and attempt to get as close to that font as possible. So to do this, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and save this file, and that way we don't lose our work and we can just hit Control S to save as we're working in it. So I'm going to click File and go Save As. I'm then going to go my Digital Design 1 folder. I've even made an Illustrator folder in there. I'm going to name it Sylvius-Adidas logo and save it. And then click OK with the compatibility. All right. The next thing we need to do is if we're going to use guides, we should probably turn on our guides. So I challenge you to pause the video here and see if you can use the toolbar or the drop-down menus up at the top to go ahead and turn on the guides for your artboard. To do this, I'm going to actually go to the view because I'm viewing things that aren't changing the actual artboard. They're not changing what the user is going to see. They're changing the way I'm viewing the artboard so I can see the guides and then follow along with them. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this here, and I'm looking for guides, and actually I'm looking to not just do a guide, but I'm looking to do the grid. I'm trying to find the grid so that it shows the grid with all the boxes so I can use those as measurements to keep things proportional and use that grid structure. Because there's guides and then there's grids, and guides are things that you can set up, which we will do in Digital Design 2, but the grid is something that can be used on any artboard automatically. So I'm a little zoomed in with my resolution here, so I'm going to have to go ahead and hit this arrow at the bottom here because I'm going to keep going down, and my goal is to show the grid, not the perspective grid. If you went to perspective grid and turned it on, you're going to want to go hide that because that's actually to be able to do things in like a 3D perspective. We're looking to just show the regular grid. So I'm going to choose Show Grid, and you're going to see that a grid with a bunch of boxes representing pixels is going to pop up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and zoom in. So I'm going to hold Alt and scroll to zoom in. And I'm going to zoom in on one big square of boxes here. And that's going to get me pretty set so that I can then create our next objects. So now we're ready to roll and start creating the triangle guide that we're going to need, and then our boxes that we're going to use to then slant to the side to create that Adidas logo.